Good, Doc. Back again, once again. Let's lock in. The age-old saying, ladies and gentlemen, that nice guys finish last or nice guys never really get the girl is something that I think we've all heard and we've all somewhat come to know as a truth factor to an extent, and that's from the general perspective. Nice guys normally finish last, right? And for the life of me, all of us would say, yo, man, that's why good girls or girls in general like bad boys or like bad guys. And there was this video that I came across today that really kind of resonated with me. That's why I want to go ahead and get it off my chest and share it with you guys. Make sure you drop a like. Let's lock in. So there's this young lady sitting in the car. Maybe you've seen the video. I wish I could post it, but I can't. But there's this young lady sitting in the car, and she's just saying that she hopes the people listening to her can understand where she's coming from, right? And she says she just doesn't find herself to be attracted to nice guys, right? Nice guys, to an extent, in her opinion, can be boring, or their energy just doesn't match well with hers. So somebody would ask her, oh, so you just like mean guys then, or you just want the bad boys or the mean guys? And her statement resonated with me, and this is what she said. She says, usually the nice guys, their masculine energy is not as strong as her masculine energy. So it just doesn't mesh well. She says a guy whose masculine energy is more than her masculine energy can help bring out her feminine energy. Now, I know that's a lot of energy talk there, but basically a guy who has a masculine frame, or a guy who is masculine or presents himself in a masculine manner, no matter how masculine the girl puts herself in a position to be, regardless, his energy will always overpower hers. And as a result, she says that would bring out her feminine energy. Now, of course, before we dismiss this comment, right? Before we dismiss it because it comes from women in the West, or it comes from the minds of a woman in the Western world, you have to think about it for a second. And for me, I can resonate, man. In high school, I was the nice guy, right? I was the nice dude. Wouldn't say I was a dork or nerd or anything like that, but I was the nice guy, right? Like, if I wanted a girl, I'm sitting here fucking writing poetry. I was always good with music in high school, so I used to write poems to girls to think that would work, and that was just, it fell flat, right? It didn't necessarily work. So I was always on the other side of being the guy that, was the nice dude and just more or less a buddy than some girl would probably see themselves being with at the time. And I'm willing to accept that. I came into my own when I got a chance to go overseas, spend a lot of time with my father and my brother, and kind of develop myself around my guys, as opposed to, trying to develop myself around, being raised by women, because at the time I was living with my mom. Maybe that played a part, maybe it did not. But like I said, before we can dismiss it, in the essence and the core of what she's saying, it can somewhat make a little bit of sense. Little bit. Right? Girls just want to be overpowered. And that's the way that I see it. And when I say overpowered, I'm not talking about in a violent manner. I'm just talking about girls just want a guy who is dominating all the way around. Somebody who's take charge, take the lead, whatever. They don't want to lead. They never want to be in a position where they have to lead. They may come off as if they want to, but the minute they meet their match, the person who can match their energy or go far above it and ain't willing to take no nonsense from them, guess what? All of a sudden, you start to see a change in the behavior. And sometimes you got to cuss them out, right? Sometimes you got to be in that ass figuratively and literally. Like, yo, I ain't about to take the shit from you, man. Fuck all that, right? You got to tell them. Because if you don't put them in their place, or you don't at least let them know what you're willing to accept and not accept, guess what? Then her quote-unquote masculine energy will always come out to be more domineering than your own. And of course, with nice guys, right, you got to understand the nice guy's trying to do everything he can to get the girl. So he's always going to be nice. He's always going to put his best foot forward. He's never going to curse at her. He's never going to say anything negative about her. He may be the type that you may come off as a bit simpish, with flowery words, saying how beautiful she is and stuff like that. That may be that type of guy, or that may be the essence of what this nice guy energy is all about. But ultimately, some girls just don't want to hear that all the time, right? My man told me this quote, right, that really resonated with me. And if you think about it, it's true. If you dangle a carrot, or if you dangle something on a string in front of a cat, The minute the string drops, the cat is no longer interested. Like, it's lost interest. So it's cool to be the one chasing, right? You know, always this international man of mystery, right? You know, always being the mysterious type, never really putting your best foot forward or ever really indulging or exposing too much of yourself. But the minute that you do, it's kind of like, well, she's no longer interested because the mystery and intrigue behind you is kind of somewhat diminished. Now, over time, depending on how comfortable you get in a relationship, you reveal a little bit over time about yourself. Even though we could always keep them on their toes, right? Until they're about 3, 4, 5 years in, if you care to make it a relationship. And by that time, they're all in on you. You know, at least you hope they would be. So, like I said, man, when I heard that, I didn't want to ultimately dismiss it, like, females, masculine energy, whatever. I wanted to actually think about that. And that's pretty much what I got from it. Girls genuinely still want the man to lead. They want to have a guy whose masculine energy is more than their own. Somebody who can, quote unquote, bring out their feminine energy. And the same rules apply abroad, man. The same rules apply abroad. Now, you don't necessarily have to be as forthcoming or maybe as rude, brash as you may have to be with some women in the West, but ultimately you still have to carry yourself like a man. If you want to be respected as a man, if you want to be treated like a king, you have to show yourself as a king, as a man, somebody that is going to get that respect come hell or high water, and somebody who's not willing to put up with no nonsense. Because if you don't think a Filipino or a woman abroad will try you, you better think again. I know a lot of brothers who have been tried before, and they've had to say, hey, that's not flying over here. Myself included. I ain't gonna cap, man. I've had to, put my foot down a couple times. It's just the way of the world. You gotta understand, and you have to let them understand what's acceptable and what's unacceptable, right? If you want to get in your feelings because I told you no about something, and you want to have a whole tantrum, no ma'am. I'll walk away from that shit real quick. Same rules apply. No matter where you are in the world, you have to have a standard. You got to keep that standard. If you fail to live up to that standard within yourself, if you fail to live up with that standard in the eyes of the woman that you're choosing to rock with in the moment, well, guess what? You'll never get that respect back. If you lose it, you'll never get it back. I don't care how hard you try. I don't care. Father told me this a long time ago, man. Once you lose the respect of your relationship, getting it back is close to impossible, because she's always going to see you, for lack of a better term, as weak, right? Whatever it may be, maybe a mental weakness or whatever, maybe not so much a physical weakness, but as a mental weakness, and she'll always know what she can do to exploit that, right? So you got to make sure that you put your best foot forward anytime you're interacting with females, right? You never want to expose too much about yourself. Let them talk more than you. And basically show up with this no-nonsense attitude that you're just not going to put up with some shit. I want to know you. I like you. I find you to be attractive. But I ain't going to sit there and fucking, cater to you. That's not how this works, right? So you have to make sure that you get that perfect blend of, yo, I'm fucking with you, but I ain't fucking with no bullshit, or I'm not willing to deal with no bullshit. So hope this video found you well. I don't know exactly what this video intended to do, but I just heard it and I wanted to bring it to the table, and I wanted to hear what you guys got to say. That's what the comment section is for. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been your boy, the Good Doc. With that being said, Good Doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Makita. Mabuhay. Peace.